never done a story that I cared about as much as this one.
It's a powerful story of redemption and forgiveness and priorities.
Being a musician, being an actress, being a singer, all of those things in one movie is mind-blowing to me.
Eyes like the dawn, you are beauty. The touch of your skin consumes me. You shine like the sun, you're empathy.
Jed is, well, he's a modern day telling of Solomon. His dad was a guy named David King, who was a famous singer, and his mom, just like the story of David in the Bible, was essentially David and Bathsheba, or Bethany as she's called in the movie. And we all know that that's not the beginning of a marriage that God intended, and so there's a lot of baggage that comes with that, and obviously there's a lot of baggage that comes with, you know, your dad traveling and being famous and all these sorts of things.
Obviously it's a biblical story put to modern times, and it reaches people. It tells a story. It makes it attainable, and you learn something from it. It's not just like, you know, you should do this and be this way. It shows you Shelby, Rose, Jed, the band, they're all real people.
And it's well done, and it's got meaning, and it's got heart, and there's films out there that can help you heal, maybe, or help you be inspired.
I just feel like we're going to touch so many people because we're real people, you know, it's attainable.
I look at him, and I look at you, and I have everything I ever wanted.
The story of Jed, just kind of like Solomon, is that he falls in love with his true love, his wife, and marries his wife, and then gets caught up as he gets famous from the song, which is what he writes for his wife.
A new song. He comes to a harvest festival that my family and I put on every year. Are you Jed King?
Yes.
I'm Rose Jordan. The minute we meet, he's got an instant connection with me, and I soon thereafter find an instant connection with him, and we just grow into being just soulmates.
A chapel here. I could build one.
Why would you want to?
So I can marry you.
Basically, it's the story of their relationship and of Jed's journey, certainly, because he strays off for a bit.
He gets caught up in the ways of the world, if you will. Has an affair with one of the people that he's on tour with, and gets caught up in drugs and just the things that Satan tries to trick us up with often.
Jed is trying to overcompensate, really, in his life for not living up to his father, and for the fear of not living up to his father and going past the expectations his father had set for him. When you're thrown into that world of temptation, there's so many things that are offered to you, one of which is Shelby. Shelby is the character that Jed kind of falls astray with. He relates to her in the aspect that they're both musicians, and they have that connection, and it just hurts me to talk about it.
It's been a journey for me to find out who she is. When I first auditioned, before I'd read the script, it was like, I just thought, ooh, this girl is a sad character. But as I've read the script and did the backstory for her, even though someone's troubled and maybe not making all the best choices, they're still a person, they still have a good heart, and they still have feelings. You know, for her, it's like where you can characterize her as just this bad girl and no redeeming qualities, but she's absolutely in love with Jed. And that's been a lot of fun, is to put true feelings to Shelby, even though she's not making the best choices in this film.
All I'm saying is do what you want. And don't feel guilty about it.
These tattoos are fake, you know, fake nose ring. But when I leave and go to the grocery store or, you know, go to a restaurant and I have these tattoos on, I notice people looking at me different. And to think of that's how Shelby is probably treated. So that's been a big lesson in not to judge. It helps me get to Shelby and her feelings.
Think of the music he could write if he just let go and lived.
Give a warm round of applause for Louisville's Jed King. Rose is a young lady who just a very wholesome, loving family girl. Where we shot, the vineyard, the house, it's very almost earthy and older. I mean, you can see if you look at this location, this is my house, my character's house. And just everything has such an old feeling and like an old soul feeling, you know. That's basically her life, is her family and growing up there in the vineyard. That's what's most important to her, is the simple things. I mean, I guess I could find a career to help me pay for all this stuff I'll eventually just throw away or leave to someone when I die, but family's forever. Rose is like almost like a very one person, you know. She's got her father, and that's it. You know, the audience doesn't explore any other relationships with her except that with her father and that with Jed. And I find that very endearing, you know, that it's quality over quantity for her. Dad's really sweet. He's just a little stressed.
No, it's fine. There's so much that Jed goes through, and there's so many different things that he faces, everything from just having a good time on stage or writing an impromptu song for this girl that he's trying to impress, to ODing and ending up in the hospital.
That's a fool's hope.
I think Jed, just like everybody else, Jed is chasing something. He's chasing these different things. He's looking for something and doesn't find it necessarily in all these things that he kind of grasps at or stumbles upon. And I think the script is very logical in its progression of what happens when you allow Satan in, when you allow him to get kind of his hooks in you, if you will. And he's gonna attempt to wreck your whole life.
Jed, stop running. Stop running.
But Jed, deep down, and obviously I think ultimately you can thank his father for instilling this wisdom in him, and biblically speaking, you know, when Solomon asked for wisdom, that God grants that to him, as he does to us today if we ask for it. He is wise. He makes mistakes. You know, we're all human. We all fall, as we know. But as the voiceovers go through the movie, and also where he ends up at the end, he understands what's important, and I think that ultimately he still has that truth buried down deep and has that truth in the back of his mind as he's making these mistakes or doing whatever he's doing.
I can't sing that song, Shell.
Yes, you can, Jedediah.
It's her song.
We shot a scene the other day where Jed was finishing the chapel, and through the window you see Rose and Ray and the little new baby girl. I remember being very impacted by that shot because that's what life is really about. Life is about God and family and the people that he puts in our life, and not the things and the fame and the money, any of these things that we feel like we can chase ourselves. All that's meaningless. And so I hope that that's what people take out of the movie.